Right now, more than ever, leaders need support that actually shifts behavior. They need insight that clarifies what's working and what's not. And they need intelligence that moves people forward, not just around in circles. Because the truth is, most leadership problems aren't about strategy. They're about people, communication, culture, alignment. And if you're navigating a turnaround, managing change, or rebuilding trust after disruption, those cracks get deeper, faster. That's where I come in. Together, we start by asking the right questions. Then we uncover the patterns, how your leaders show up, how your team connects, and where energy is getting lost. And from there, we build clarity, accountability, and traction. Because when you understand how people lead, how they respond to pressure, and how they can better connect, everything else improves. Performance, collaboration, culture, results. This is the kind of insight that transforms leadership and organizations and accelerates impact. It's called SOAR Discern IQ, and it's now powered with AI intelligence. Let's talk about what it could unlock for you. Reach out at 469-523-1453. Welcome to Her Next Power Move, the podcast that helps high-performing leaders navigate their career ascension with clarity and confidence. Every other week, I come to you personally, just you and me, and discuss the issues and trends in leadership that may be keeping you stuck and what you can do to make that power move forward. I'm your executive producer and host, L. Michelle Smith, and for those who don't know, I'm a best-selling leadership author and expert, Fortune 100 C-suite advisor, and ICF-certified executive and personal coach that inspires leadership at the apex of applied neuroscience and positive psychology and culture. This podcast originates from my Substack by the same name, Her Next Power Move. This is your opportunity to listen, but most importantly, think and strategize about how you will move your leadership aspirations and your life forward, especially in the current business and cultural context. Get your journals and pens ready. Every episode, we start with a topic and we end with a powerful question. Take your time and answer that question honestly and with as much detail and specificity as possible, because our goal each episode is a breakthrough. It's a powerful 10 minutes of your time, well spent. Let me ask you something that leaders rarely admit out loud. Have you ever watched someone get ahead? Not because they earned it, but because they maneuvered, manipulated, or simply played the system better than everyone else? It's the kind of moment that makes you pause, not because you want their spotlight, but because you know the rules you're playing by aren't the rules that are being rewarded. A VP once told me, it's not the loss that hurts, it's the message it sends. And she was right. Moments like these don't just bruise your ego. They bruise your sense of justice. Today, I want to unpack what actually happens inside you in those moments, and more importantly, how to lead through them without letting cynicism steal your clarity, your character, or your power. Here's what most people don't know. Your brain is wired for fairness. The anterior insula, the region associated with moral disgust and ethical violations, activates when you witness unethical behavior being rewarded. It's the same circuitry that lights up when you see someone cheating or taking advantage of others. Then there's the reward prediction error system. It's the mechanism your brain uses to understand patterns. When this action happens, that outcome follows. It helps you navigate the world. But when you work hard, deliver excellence, show integrity, and someone who shortcuts their way forward gets the win, that system misfires. Your brain reads it as a glitch in the moral universe. That misfire can feel like anger or disappointment or a sudden drop in motivation, not because you're weak, but because your brain's coding for fairness has been violated. This isn't emotional, it's not neurological, it's not even spiritual. But here's the part we don't talk about. When this becomes a pattern, when you experience unfair advancement over and over, your brain shifts into protective mode. Enter the amygdala. You become more vigilant, more guarded, more skeptical. And if it goes on long enough, the brain begins to overgeneralize. Like, if this is the system, why bother? That overgeneralization is how talented people shrink themselves. But this is where positive psychology gives us the antidote. One of the most powerful findings in modern positive psychology centers on something called psychological capital: hope, efficacy, resilience, and optimism. Researchers discovered that leaders with higher psychological capital don't just cope, they outperform, especially in unjust or ambiguous environments. Why? Because these leaders draw from internal systems, not external validation. They stay anchored to who they are, what they value, and what they can control. And they let that shape their response. Another insight comes from the research on justice sensitivity. Highly principled leaders feel injustice more acutely, but they also tend to be more ethical, more trusted, and more effective in the long run. Their moral compass becomes their competitive advantage. And finally, there's the research on savoring, the ability to intentionally amplify positive experiences. It sounds simple, but savoring helps counterbalance the disproportionate weight the brain gives to negative events. It restores emotional equilibrium. In other words, integrity may not win every race, but it wins the ones that matter. So, how can leaders stay strong when it feels like the wrong people are winning? I have a few tips. Number 1, reclaim cognitive space. When an injustice hits, your brain narrows into threat mode. Take 2 minutes to disrupt it. Pause. Name that emotion. Just labeling reduces insula activation and returns clarity to the prefrontal cortex, where you do your best reasoning and thinking. Number 2, strengthen your internal scorecard. External wins and losses matter, but they don't define your trajectory. Use an inner metric. For example, did I stay aligned with my values today? Did I lead well? Did I choose integrity? You can't control outcomes, but you can always control alignment. And number 3, recenter on contribution over comparison. Comparison activates the default mode network, the part of the brain that loops in rumination. You know, you've heard comparison is the killer of confidence. This is why. Contribution, however, activates action pathways. It triggers hope. It shifts you from asking, why them, to what's my next move? Number 4, protect your energy boundaries. Not everyone earns access to you or your emotional bandwidth. Your job is not to absorb the dysfunction. It's to stay grounded enough to see past it. Here's a micro practice for you. I like to call it the integrity audit. At the end of the day, ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, where did I stay aligned with my values today? Number 2, what did I contribute that mattered? And number 3, what is one choice I will make tomorrow that strengthens who I am as a leader? This takes less than 3 minutes. It restores agency, rewires direction, and interrupts the emotional noise that unfairness creates. Now, here's your powerful thought for the day. The wrong people may win rounds, but they don't win destinies. Character compounds. So does clarity. So does the kind of leadership that outlasts shortcuts and outperforms manipulation. Your rise may be quiet, but it will be undeniable. And here's your powerful question for the day. Get your pens and journals ready. Where is your integrity asking you to stay the course, even when the path feels unfair? If you want to build this kind of grounded, unshakable leadership and community, leadership that puts heart, humanity, and cultural wisdom at the center, I invite you to pre-order my forthcoming book, Call and Response, 10 Leadership Lessons from the Black Church, published by Amistad, HarperCollins, and JVL Media. It's a guide for leaders who want to deepen their resilience, lead with conviction, and remember who they are even when the world around them feels off balance. If today's episode spoke to something in you, this book will help you build the muscle to rise above the noise and lead from a place of purpose, clarity, and truth. You can pre-order now wherever books are sold, or go to lmichellesmith.com/call-and-response. I also invite you to join The Circle, my online leadership growth group, where we put these concepts into action every week. You'll find coaching tools and the kind of support that helps you rise on your own terms. Learn more at lmichellesmith.com/The Circle. Want me to speak, sign books, or host a workshop at your organization? Submit a request at lmichellesmith.com/speaking. Have you signed up for my Flight Path newsletter? It's weekly and it shows up in your inbox each Monday. It's your clear, guided journey to success. To subscribe, go to soaracademy.nsccoaching.co/subscribe. But the conversation doesn't end here. Let's chat about it. Join the chat at Her Next Power Move or add your comments below. Remember, paid subscribers get to hear it first, and you have access to me immediately. That means if you haven't subscribed, it's time for you to go to lmichellesmith.substack.com. You can follow and connect with me on LinkedIn, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, or Facebook. Shout out to my executive assistant, Carmen Gamble, and to my audio-visual engineer, Andy Baeza. I'll see you online.